Now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Casa D18 Studios channel. Thank you so much for joining me here today as it's time to once again step into the war zone. That's right, it's time for another edition of the Weekly Acquisition Report, the show where I show you the newest additions to my ever growing movie library. And today it's going to be all stuff that was picked up secondhand from Goodwill, as well as from Penny Lane Records in Downtown Upland. What's going on, everybody? Thank you once again for joining me and stepping along with me into the war zone. The weekly acquisition report. Yes, it is that time again for the week when I, the renegade JJ Williams, show you the newest additions to my ever growing movie library. It is the weekly acquisition report. And as I said during the introduction, everything today was secondhand. Majority of it is from Goodwill. However, I did get down to Downtown Upland a couple weeks ago, and I was able to pick up a couple of films that were there, and they were only 99 cents a piece. So I had to grab these for my collection. First one is Money Train. Wesley Snipes, Woody Harrelson, Jennifer Lopez. It's an awesome movie. Wesley and Woody together again after the success of White Men Can't Jump, which I also love. I don't think I own that one yet, so I definitely need to get a hold of that one at some point. But Money Train is a great one as well. They basically swapped out Rosie Perez and put in Jennifer Lopez instead. But the chemistry is still there. J-Lo adds a great element to the film. I enjoy it. We'll get to it at some point down the road. And then I also got Saturday Night Fever with John Travolta. Again, I've never seen this. Travolta is an easy one to do a month for down the road as he's been around since the 70s and he's got so many good movies in his repertoire. You figure Grease, you got this, you've got Urban Cowboy, you've got the Look Who's Talking movies, you've got Broken Arrow, Pulp Fiction, etc. He's got a vast catalog of films. John Travolta is definitely someone I will be highlighting down the road. Just have to look for the right time and place to do it, as I'm starting to try and do my featured actors and actresses around their birthdays, and not just any birthday, but a monumental birthday. You figure this year we celebrated Dwayne The Rock Johnson on his 50th birthday. Moving forward, starting next year, I'm looking to do something similar and trying to pick up on people's monumental birthdays. So either like 40, 50, 60, etc., or 45, 55, 65, either the zeros or the fives. I'm not just going to do somebody because, it's their 42nd birthday. No, got to make it a monumental number, either a zero or a five. So those are the ones that I got from Penny Lane Records. Now, the rest of everything I'm going to show you was Goodwill pickups over the last few weeks. Now, there were a couple weeks I didn't get to go to Goodwill just because the money wasn't there. And that just is what it is at this day and age, right? I mean, you just can't spend money that you don't have. Am I right? So the first couple of movies were all picked up over the course of the same week. I got Eddie Murphy, Metro, still sealed in the plastic. So that's definitely one we're going to be doing down the road. I've been talking for a while now about doing an Eddie Murphy month again. Just got to wait for one of those monumental birthdays to roll around for him. And boom, just schedule his month because he's got so much, both good and not as good, if we're being completely honest. But Eddie Murphy is somebody that I really want to devote that time and attention to because he was an iconic figure for the 80s and 90s. We got Diana Ross, Lady Sings the Blues. Now, I have heard so much about this movie. Again, never seen it. I'm doing a month of musicals next month. Maybe this will sneak in there. I don't know yet. I haven't booked that far in advance. But Diana Ross, you've got Billy D. Williams, you've got Richard Pryor. Like, come on, that's just star-studded right there. And then you've got Vision Quest. And I mainly picked this one up because of the fact that it is a very early appearance in a film of Madonna. She plays a bar singer. This is where Crazy for You, which is an iconic 80s Madonna song, comes from. My humble opinion, it's probably one of her sexiest songs, bar none. If you just listen to the words that she is saying, definitely one of my favorite, maybe even my favorite 1980s era Madonna song. More than Material Girl, more than Like a Virgin, more than Like a Prayer, more than any of those. I think Crazy for You is my favorite from that era of her. So then this stack right here I'm going to go to are ones that I just picked up this week. I was able to get quite a few this week, and somebody had gotten rid of a pretty extensive classic Disney collection. We'll get to those in a minute. The first one I picked up is Red Eye. Rachel McAdams and Cillian Murphy. I've never heard of this movie before. A film by Wes Craven. Okay, so that's got my attention. But you've got Rachel McAdams, who's Regina George in Mean Girls, and you've got Cillian Murphy, who plays the Scarecrow in the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight trilogy. And they're a couple. That intrigues me. Or at least it comes off as they're a couple. So I'm definitely interested to see this. Rachel McAdams, I don't think gets the credit she deserves as an actress. I mean, hell, she hit us with The Notebook and Mean Girls in the same year. And I haven't seen The Notebook, but I know how much people talk about it. I have seen Mean Girls. I adore Mean Girls. She's a great bitchy villain in Mean Girls. But then you flip to The Notebook and she's the love interest, the main character. So she showed us two very extreme sides of her personality in the same year. And like I say, I just don't think she gets the credit she deserves. So the next one I got is called The Barclays of Broadway. And it's another one I've never even heard of. But you got Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. Those two were always a dynamic duo in old Hollywood. So it can't be horrible. It just can't, not with those two. So next up on the list, we've got Frank and Jesse, the story of Frank and Jesse James with Rob Lowe, Bill Paxton, and Randy Travis. You guys know how much I love Westerns. I've talked about Tombstone. I've talked about Maverick. I've talked about Young Guns and Young Guns 2. I just am a huge fan of those type of movies. Check those out on the channel if you haven't seen them yet. I'm not going to link them as with the Warzone. I try to go pretty quickly on some of these. I don't think I'd be able to get them all up in time. So then that leaves me with the Disney ones. And there's only 4. But like I said, somebody got rid of a classic Disney collection. And I don't mean classic by like Mary Poppins or Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, none of that stuff. No, no, no. I'm talking about some of the gems that are like forgot about. And people from today's generation probably have never even heard of, but people from my generation kind of grew up watching these. And the first one, I want to say this came out in the 80s, but it's Young Black Stallion. Like we all grow up hearing about the Black Stallion. So here's like the prequel to that essentially that Disney did. Like I said, I want to say it was the early 80s. We've got The Love Bug. Like this is classic. This is a double disc block case. Like before they started doing where you'd find the disc on both sides of the cover, or they'd have the little flip in the middle. No, no, no. You open, there's disc 1, there's disc 2. Like, this is a clunky brick case, but it's so cool to have the Love Bug in my collection now. We've got The Strongest Man in the World with Kurt Russell. Yes, that is a very young Kurt Russell. Before he escaped New York, before he was Wyatt Earp, he was doing Disney movies. I've never seen that one before. I'm curious to check it out, though. And the last classic Disney one I got is Don Knotts and Gus. And Gus is a football kicking horse. Yes, I said that right, and I will say it again. He is a football kicking horse. You've got Don Knotts being Don Knotts. He had done a couple other movies for Disney around this time, most specifically The Apple Dumpling Gang and The Apple Dumpling Gang Rides Again. He was doing all kinds of family-friendly movies in the 60s, The Incredible Mr. Limpet, The Reluctant Astronaut, etc. I love Don Knotts. I grew up watching The Andy Griffith Show, so I had to add that one to my collection. Last but not least, we've got the Blu-rays that I'm going to talk about. And the first one, you might have seen it there on top when I held this up, Les Miserables. And this is something that's definitely going to get taken a look at during Musicals Month. And the reason I got it is, now I think I might already own it on DVD, but it's a special collector's edition. It comes with this booklet, all kinds of imagery from the movie and whatnot, and stories from on set and the cast and whatnot. So I thought that was interesting. And then they come with these little like postcard images of all the main characters. And despite having never seen this before, I just felt like if I'm going to own this movie, then I need to just get this collector's edition. Go big or go home, right? I mean, you figure that this was only $2 at Goodwill during the sale, the Thursday sale. It's when I buy all my Goodwill movies. I don't buy Goodwill movies during the week. I wait for the Thursday sale. So if no one's grabbed them in the 4 weeks that they've been on the shelf, then it comes home with me. And lately, Goodwill's been kind of overpricing their stuff anyway, so I can kind of understand why people haven't been buying movies there. Like, they usually mark their Blu-rays at like $8 a pop. And that may not sound like much to you guys when you think about what they go for in stores. Hell, this collection right here probably would have easily been $25 to $30 in stores. But when you're buying secondhand, $8 is a lot. Like, I could understand $5 for a Blu-ray. You know, DVDs for $2, $3. But to make it $8 for a Blu-ray, that's a bit extreme for me. And then $5 for a DVD. Yeah, here's one with the sticker still on it. The Barclays of Broadway. $4.99 for a DVD. That's just nuts to me. And then, do I have a Blu-ray here that still has it? Yeah. Yeah, we'll just go to this one next. Law Abiding Citizen, Jamie Foxx, Gerard Butler. This one says that it was $9.99. $9.99 at Goodwill, y'all. And they wonder why these sit there on their shelves for 4 weeks, waiting until somebody like me comes on Thursday and buys them. I'm not going to buy $9.99 shit. This probably would be in the $5 bin at Walmart. Let's be real. As far as the movie goes, though, I've never seen it. I am a fan of Jamie Foxx. I am a fan of Gerard Butler. The fact that it's sealed, it's the unrated director's cut. I don't know if it comes with a digital code or anything. It would be awesome if it did. Transformers, Age of Extinction. I want to say this is the fourth in the Transformers saga, the first one that had Mark Wahlberg. I could be wrong on that, but it's definitely a Mark Wahlberg one. I did not own it yet. I do own the 3 Shia LaBeouf Transformer movies, so getting to add this to my collection is awesome. I have seen this, and I will take a look at the Transformers franchise when I get to do a month of franchises. You figure there's the 5 movies in this series. There's Bumblebee with John Cena, so that makes 6. And then if you really want to do your homework, go back to the 80s to the original Transformers, the movie animated. There's 7 movies in the franchise because you figure these were all based off of the animated series from the 80s. So it's kind of cool to go back and do that animated movie as part of the franchise. We've got The Soloist, another Jamie Foxx movie and Robert Downey Jr. Now, I saw the trailer for this just recently again when my girlfriend and I were watching Tropic Thunder. Weren't watching it to review it. We were actually just watching to watch a movie. She wanted me to see Tropic Thunder. I had never seen it before. We'll get to that another day because I will review it. But while we were waiting for the movie to start, the trailer for this played, and I thought that it was a very interesting movie. So when I saw this at Goodwill, originally priced at $7.99, and it had been marked down because it was Thursday, so it was the day for $1.99, I snatched it. Why not? At that cheap $2 for a movie that you're interested in anyways, I've said it before on the show, $1.99 is about what you would have paid back in the days to rent a movie at Blockbuster, rent a movie at Hollywood Video, The Warehouse. It's about the same price as getting a movie at the Redbox, unless you've got a free code or something. But this way you get to own it and you're not just renting it. May as well go for broke, right? The Town is the last one we got for the day. Ben Affleck, Jeremy Renner, Blake Lively, John Hamm, Rebecca Hall. I don't know a lot about this movie, but it looked interesting. The cast looked decent. I figured, what the hell? Let's give it a try. I am a big Ben Affleck fan. I have been ever since Chasing Amy, my first time watching that. So add it to the Affleck collection. Maybe we'll do a Ben Affleck month down the road. There you go for today and my haul, my newest additions to my ever-growing movie library. What do you guys think? Let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. Let's engage in that conversation. Talk to me. Have you seen The Soloist? Have you seen The Town? Have you seen The Barclays of Broadway? Have you seen Frank and Jesse? Lady Sings the Blues? Let me know. Talk to me. Let me know. Am I going to enjoy these? Don't post spoilers. We don't want to do spoilers. But let me know if you think, based off of the movies I've talked about on Renegades Reviews, based on how I've rated some of the movies on Renegades Reviews, do you think I'm going to enjoy these or not so much? Let me know. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, right here to the Casa D18 Studios channel for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, and it will be my birthday. That's right, tomorrow is my birthday, and for my birthday, I am reviewing Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. Going all the way back to my teenage years to take a look at this film. Man, it was good going back and revisiting that, but you're going to have to tune in tomorrow to see what I think. And then immediately following that, both here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, as well as over on the Jeff Meacham Network, it'll be time for another episode of The Dads Not Always on Wrestling, as we take a look at our top 10 SummerSlam title changes. You're not going to want to miss out on that. And in a little twist, Jeff is going to be going first this time, talking about wrestling, and I'm going to be able to bring it home because it's my birthday. In addition to that, any super chats or donations that are received during this broadcast of the SummerSlam title changes will then come to me kind of as you guys giving me a little bit of a birthday present. So make sure you've got some money saved up. Make sure you're registered for Super Chats so that you can throw a couple bucks in there just as a little bit of a thank you to me, since my channel isn't monetized yet and I'm not making that money on my own. Like I said, all Super Chats and donations on this SummerSlam show will be coming to me. You're not going to want to miss out on that, both right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, as well as over on the Jeff Meacham Network. Got Dad's Not Always on Wrestling. We got Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. It's going to be a fun day tomorrow as we celebrate my birthday. To all my loyal fans and friends out there, thank you for tuning in and joining me today. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure that notification bell is turned on. That way you're alerted anytime a video drops here on my channel. Make sure you share this video with your family, your friends, other movie lovers that you know, Disney fans, anybody you think would enjoy this video. Share it with them. Help boost up my visibility in the YouTube algorithms so I can eventually get monetized, make some money on this ordeal. Thank you once again for tuning in and joining me today here on the War Zone. I appreciate you all more than you could ever know, and I will see you guys next time.